morning, students. It has commenced the session, and this is our seventh session, as well as this could be the last topic in this unit 1. So, forthcoming 2 sessions, I plan to revise the contents what we have seen from day 1 to till now, as well as there is a content beyond syllabus. There is a CBS topic is there. How XML can be used with other technologies. So, through a demonstration, I will explain you those things also. Still, if you have any other thing that I need to exhibit pertaining to Unit 1, you can post me a message so that I could able to convey you something apart from the particular topic. Or do you have anything that to discuss with XML relevant to any projects that you need, that you want me to talk about that? Just you can post me a message. 9th session. That means the 9th module I will speak about that. So the next module I will speak about the content beyond the syllabus topic. In the last module 9, that I will speak about the topic that what you are make me to talk about that. Else otherwise I have my own topic that I will speak on that. Okay, fine. So today's topic is XCORI. Okay, so till now whatever we have seen, everything will applicable here. We have seen XSLT, XPath, XSSD, XSS. Everything will be accompanied and can be used for this XCORI. Okay, so before getting into a very detailed section, just we will recap what we have seen in previous session. See that. So today there is no options A, B, C, D, that you are going to convey the XPath functions. What is the function for this? These are all some of the programs taken from placement websites. You could able to see a code. The question is, if I want to traverse from the red color tag to blue color tag, what is the expression that I have to write? Okay. So what is the expression that I have to write? So might be if you have come across our previous session, you could able to see some slides on node functions. Okay. So every tag will be treated as nodes. So using that built-in functions, we could able to traverse and get those things. Okay. So how to do that? Might be this could be a surprise one for you. That is the reason why I'll explain you the first one. This could be the method. So if you go back to our previous slides, you could able to find these functions. Following underscore sibling, that is the function. Following underscore sibling. Okay, LG is the tag name. See that LG is the tag name. Next, LG of 1. LG of 1 represents the first record. In head, we are having only one LG. LG of 1 slash L of 1. So what is L of 1? So I need to go for the first tag. So L of 1. So if I am going to traverse that, I could able to get the first tag. Okay. So L of 1. From LG of 1 to L of 1 I am going. Okay. So that is the way to travel from. So LG of 1 means first record. L of 1 means which is in blue color. Okay. Which is in blue color. So from red color to blue color, how I will travel? Following hyphen sibling scope resolution operator LG of 1. LG represents the tag LG of 1 slash L of 1. L of 1 represents the first tag. So this is the procedure. Following sibling. Okay. So I could able to say that immediate child node. That's what the following sibling. This is a built-in function available with our XPath. Okay, so likewise only our subsequent things will be there. So now how I will travel. Following example, I need to travel from red to green, red color tag to green color tag. So what I will write. So this could be the answer for the previous one. Following hyphen sibling. So what I will write. Look carefully at what exactly is green. That's also a hint they have given. So how to write that? So instead of that, so here we are visiting only to the tag, okay, in the first question. But here we are ready to retrieve the content also. Okay, retrieve the content also. That is the reason why text is being appended. We know that first record we have to travel in the subchild LG of 1. Okay. Next in LG of 1, I have to visit towards the L of 2. That's what given there. LG of 1 / L of 2. So this is that path, right? The absolute path, that what we have seen in the XPath. / text. So it is ready to retrieve me what is available within that content. So to the lonely sea and the sky, that will be retrieved when I am going to issue this following hyphen sibling scope resolution operator LG of 1 / L of 2 / text 2. LG of 1 means first record in LG in the head there, that is first one. L of 2 means it will represent the green tag. Okay, so that's an interesting thing to know that. Third one. So something little bit changed, right? Here we have not talked about the child. We are talking about subjects. I have not talked about LG tags. Here we have talked only about that, and also you need to see that would get you from the blue bit to purple bit, from blue color to purple color. That how you will travel. Right? So how you will write that? Following hyphen sibling. So the same thing only. Where I have to travel L of 3, okay, / text of 1. L of 3 / text of 1. Okay, so the XPath that would get you from the blue bit to the purple bit. So this is something reverse. That's what, orange bit to blue bit. The same type of exercise. So here how we will write. So here I am ready to introduce some other functions also. Parent, who is the parent? That's being marked as L. / preceding sibling. So preceding sibling. So what is the location they are mentioning? L of 2. So what is L of 2? So before L of 2, what is the L of 2 is lonely to see in the sky. Okay. So before L of 2, what is there? L of 1 is there. So L of 1 is nothing but I must go down to the sea again. So from orange to blue color, I will travel in this way. Okay. So L of 3 / text of 1. So following sibling. So from purple color to blue color, how I will travel? I will refer the fourth tag is the purple color tag. So I am ready to refer the second tag and then move towards the first tag. Okay. So that's the thing that people are ready to represent over. Final one, immediate tags. As well as I am ready to retrieve the text also. Okay, orange to purple. So I am mentioning the parent as L. So preceding sibling of L of 1 / text. So that's what they have mentioned. Okay, so this is the way that you have to practice with the XPath. It's very easy. The only thing is what you need to remember, what type of node functions that you need to use. The node functions I have tabulated along with the explanation I have given you in the slides as well as I have explained you. Please go through that. That will help you to answer these things. Okay. When we are going to mention web programming or web technology in your resume, people are expecting that how good that you are ready to work on it. Again, I will be telling you, people who are working with the lightweight mobile applications or people who are working with the flavors of JavaScript, People will be started using jQuery for their development. For all those things, this could be the fundamental. Okay. So because what is the thing that we are going to see today? Xquery. Why jQuery was developed? jQuery was developed actually because jQuery is completely native to JavaScript. Okay, but Xquery is completely native to JavaScript. Native to XML, but processing engine that you could able to use any language, any package. That is the main advantage. XML is. So it is having variety of features, but jQuery will have limited features to work only with the JavaScript applications alone. Okay, but fortunately, most of the applications that what we are developing for portable environment belongs to Java only, right? So that's the reason why there could be a usage of jQuery and Xquery for development is a little bit moving in a competitive way, right? That is the adaptability of jQuery over there, because some famous applications got developed in jQuery. That is the reason why Xquery have not been focused in the limelight. That is the only difference. Okay, so when Xquery is being used, because Xquery can be used either by open source or any type of proprietary software from Apple or Microsoft, whatever. Okay, so Xquery also having powerful tools, powerful methods to work with what you can develop. That's what we are going to see in today's session. Ultimately, it's a functional language. Okay, so it is also ready to retrieve information from the XML document, but in a easier way. So that's what they'll be conveying. So even how you will use your SQL, the same pattern that you could able to use this SQL Xquery also. So that's what they'll be talking about the way. So what could be its characters? So ultimately, since it's a XML, but it's being related to that, it could be a functional language. So it will exhibit the behavior of your SQL. XPath we are going to use. Okay, that's what they are giving the concern, because without XPath, Xquery cannot survive, because XPath only will give us the absolute path or relative path to access it. Okay, absolute path or relative path to access it. So that could be the idea. Next, universally accepted. So that could be done by the market only actually, because you can't find any openings directly based on what do you call the Xquery, right? Because jQuery applications have occupied a lot. But do you know that it has been made as a standard that everyone could able to develop? It has been made as a standard by W3C. But later periods only, jQuery has been come into the context here. What are all the benefits? Still, people have not known about the actual orientation of this Xquery, because Xquery have a vital notion on big data. Okay, in any type of the format, it could be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. Whatever could be the type of data structure that they are following to store the data, Xquery have the power to retrieve the content. Okay, Xquery have the power to retrieve the content. That's the idea on this. Okay, so Xquery could able to do everything whatever related to web technology. It could not be able to do it on your own, right? It cannot. It's a standalone like application, but it can be combined with any other existing applications, and it could be able to work well. So here I am going to show you some demonstration related with Java, right? Because what can you do over on that as a programming? That's what a major criteria on Xquery, right? So once you could able to use that, for example, you are developing a mobile application to retrieve something from the central server. In that case, if you are going to execute anything related to the retrieval selection or retrieval content, so in that case, there are factors will be involved. First one is the network load. Second one is about the bandwidth. And the third one is the complexity which is happening between, or the time interval which is happening between retrieval and selection. Okay, so these are all the things which made the application to come down, or it may lead to hang, right? It's like accessing many threads for an application. Okay, so that things will happen when we are going to develop a mobile application related with a DB. But when we are going to use Xcode by keeping XML as a backend, it could be retrieved immediately. There won't be any delay. There won't be any a strong command, right? So it's very easier for us. Okay, ICICI is doing their part of their complete system as well as Standard Chartered. Part of their complete system only using this XML only. Okay, most of their backend operations are being managed with the XML only. They don't want to pay more for Oracle servers, right? For managing there. For example, 10 years back data are being available over on that. For them to manage with that, Xcode is enough. So whenever they need, they could be able to retrieve it through a simple work. For that, they don't need any load of density. Okay, so on those places, Xcode is replacing. Soon it will replace most of our environment, right? The powerfulness of Cassandra behind our Facebook, right? So the powerfulness of most of our NoSQL entities are being mapped for our Xcode. So that much powerful it is. That's the idea. So if you want to run Xcode, you need these jar files. All these jar files are being available as a zip, right? So you can download it from even from the Oracle website, or even from XML's base website, or you could be able to find Programmers World. So wherever, just you type Saxon for Xcode, ultimately it will get this jar files. People who are working with Java, what you have to do? You have to download all these 4 files and you have to keep it inside JDK. For recent version is 14. So JDK 14.01/bin. Within this folder, you have to keep all these jar files. So it's enough. Okay. So by default, it will ready to work. Just you copy these 4 files into that folder, restart the system. It will ready to accompany with your JDK. That's the easier one. So here you have the basic example. Books. Books is the parent node. You are having 4 book data, right? 4 records are available there. So every record will have the following subtags: title, author, year, price. Okay, title, author, year, price. So these are all the 4 tags that are being available with that. Okay, so likewise, we are having 4 records are there. How the data available in this XML is being retrieved? That's what we are going to see. Okay, so I'm going to write a Xcode. So how to save a Xcode? File name .xqy. Okay, file name .xqy. So when we are moving for automation, right? Nowadays, the world is full of automation. The 2 companies which are very famous in automation is Anywhere Automation and Automation Anywhere and UiPath. They are doing tremendous things on automation. So by considering those things as cases, it is advisable that you could be able to have these books could be your root tag. Okay, so I'm using a root tag. Root tag.xqy. That will be more easier when we are going to move for automation. That is the reason why I have kept this intentionally, the file name books.xqy. So how to write a Xcode? That's the famous thing, by using simple. See, this structure will be similar to your jQuery only, right? So for $x is the variable. In, I am going to refer my file, XML file, in doc. Which document I am referring? Books.xml. $x is the index variable. Okay, $x in doc of books.xml. X is the user defined variable, please remember. So I am referring the path books/book. Books is the root tag, book is the individual record. So for all the records, I am going to traverse. That is the reason why I am writing for loop. But here I am ready to give you a condition. What is the condition? I need to traverse and see what I have to check. Price must be greater than 30. Okay. So price must be greater than 30. If such things are there, only retrieve those titles. Okay. I need to return only those titles. That's how they are going to return through the index variable. Okay. So it is exactly like your SQL query, right? So instead of using select, here I am going to use for, because It could be a program like your PL bar SQL. Okay. So for index variable in doc of books.xml. Next, I have to give my complete path. That's nothing but your absolute path that you are going to give here. So where $x condition that you are going to give here, and finally what you need to return, books which are having price greater than 30 must be returned. Okay, so this could be the xquery tag. So what you have to do, XML will be available as a separate file, xquery will be available as a separate file. Now I am going to write a Java program for this. So xquery tester to integrate the XML and the xquery with our Java only. We have already list of files supporting files for Saxon query processor we have installed in our JDK. So these are all the header files that I need to import. Okay, so these are all the general content. So file ultimately .io package will handle all file and stream related operations. So related to XML, these are all the things. So because since we are going to work with a database, I need to recollect the JDBC thing that what we have did in our previous course on internet programming, right? So people who are involved in Wipro Talentnext training. So Michael sir have reviewed us what is JDBC, how we are going to connect with the JDBC that we have seen. The same procedure only here they are going to apply in terms of tags. That's very simple, right? So further we are mentioning the connection, XQ connection, XQ data source. So connection is ready to identify me the heterogeneous entity. XQ data source will identify me the corresponding database. To manage any exception, I have XQ exception because database may be crashed or database may not be available or database server will be down. In that case, it need to manage with the exception. Prepared expression, nothing but your prepared statement. Okay, that's what we are seeing in Java. Result set. Likewise, here we are having result sequence. Okay, so Saxon XQ data source will ready to refer me that it is mandatory for me to work with the xquery program. So this last line is necessary for me to manage with the xquery program. Okay, so something interesting. So this is the program. So in the first program, I am trying to call a method execute. So don't worry about this much of very good program. Within the main method, I am calling a execute method. Okay, rest of them are execution handling only. So no need to worry about that. So what is available in the execute method? So come down and see that. So private static void execute throws. So because I'm ready to manage both the exceptions because first exception will ready to check for whether this file is available or not. Okay. So second exception. So if I related to that xquery, if it is not available, what I need to throw on that. Okay. So my input for the data source will be managed through books.xqy. Okay. So it is ready to work on xqy. But all these files must be available in the same folder. Okay. So please remember that. Why we have not referred the XML file here? Because books.xqi will have that XML file. We have referred it here. Okay. So no need to, through file programming, no need to refer again books.xml here. Books.xqi will retrieve the data. Data will be available in books.xqi. Java will take care of retrieving the data. Okay. So that's what here we are going to practice. This is what I have explained. How we are accessing the data source, how we are getting the connection. After establishing the connection, how the data is being retrieved from our xquery file through xquery via from XML through xquery, how they are retrieving it. Finally, the result is stored in the corresponding object. So that object need to be iterated. That is the reason why it has been given in a while loop. Okay. So the return contents are being treated as string only. So if I need to return as an integer, I have to give get item as a string. So likewise, I could be able to do typecasting over on the method itself. So that's the thing, how to execute that. Normal way of executing a Java program. So first what I will execute, Java C file name.java, next Java class name. So class name is query tester because within that main file is available. So it is ready to retrieve. Learn .NET in 24 hours, learn xquery in 24 hours. Have you seen this? It is retrieving along with our tag, right? Along with our tag. That is the powerfulness of this xquery. Why these need to be retrieved along with the tag? Do you know the reason? Because we are going to print them in a formatted way. Okay, I can pass this output of jQuery towards an integrated XSLT. I could able to generate because already we have seen XSLT. So the output of an XML will be combined with a XSL. I could able to generate a formatted output. Here I am not showing a formatted output. I am showing only the output from Java. Okay. So please understand that it is ready to retrieve me along with the tag. The reason is the output can be combined with the XSL and you can generate your own formatted output, right? That is the powerfulness of this jQuery. See, these are all mainly that plug and play are only for lightweight components only. That is the reason why try to adapt these type of technologies in mobile application development. Okay. So even if you could able to check that in the program, right? .NET and Xcode. So check this XML file, .NET and Xcode, right? Which are greater than 30 rupees. Greater than 30 rupees. Yes. See, you could able to check 40.50. Learn .NET in 24 hours and $50. That's going to be learn Xcode in 24 hours. So that's what the output is being retrieved. Okay. So such an interesting thing. So with this Java program only, we are ready to retrieve on this. So if you want to execute a Xcode program, we need a XML program, we need a Xcode document, Xcode program. Third one is we need a Java program. What we have to do? We have to call the XML program within Xcode. Next, we have to call the Xcode program within the Java program. Once we execute the Java program, we will get the data from XML. What is the filter we have applied on Xcode? We'll work over on that. So such an interesting technology it is, right? So students who are working with mobile applications and any other lightweight applications, please use Xcode. People who are already familiar with jQuery, just you switch over for Xcode and upgrade your jQuery with the Xcode, execute something and see, you will see that optimization that what it was ready to show. XML could be able to operate on all the platforms, right? What about your jQuery, right? Without the support of JScript, whether your jQuery is operatable. I have a question on that. Okay. What is this flower? Right? Flower. Likewise, they will convey. So already we have seen it in the Xcode, but how the procedural way to write a Xcode program? F, it represents the for because I am iterating for all the records in the XML program. L, that is the variable that I am ready to assign. Where that I will put my condition. O, order by, like the order by in our SQL, ascending order, descending order, I could able to mention over on that. R, it will return the, based upon FLWO, what is the result that will be returned through this R. This is what FLWO. So people will call about Xcode floor, this one. So floor, F for and L for assignment, W for condition, O for shorting and R for returning the result. Okay, please remember this. So here is a simple program. So here onwards, so please remember that what is the first XML program we have used, what is the Java program we have used. I'm going to talk about only the books.xqi, right? I'm going to talk only about the corresponding SQL query Xcode program only. I'm not going to talk about Java program as well as XML program. So please, but if you want to get this result, what I have to do, Java program is mandatory for me. Okay, so please remember that. So here I am executing the Java program. What is the result I am ready to retrieve? Same result, but what I have used order by. Order by means it is ready to sort. See in the previous output, it came as it is, .NET Xcode. Okay, but when you are coming for here, so it has sorted. How it has sorted? Order by price. Okay, this is $50. Xcode is $50. .NET is $40. That is the reason why it could came like in that way. Okay. How to use Xcode with the HTML? See the program in the left side of the screen. That you have a program that is within the Xcode itself. What I have conveyed, I have constructed a formatted output. Do you know that? See, can you able to understand that? What I need to retrieve? So books.xml program, I am returning a table. Inside the table, what is the things are need to be available? The data retrieved from the Xcode must be available within the table. Okay, so that is the thing that I want to retrieve. So what I am ready to retrieve? I am ready to retrieve the price of the, along with the title, I need to retrieve the price. So it will come like a table. The table which consists of title and the price contents. That's all. So what it will retrieve? It will retrieve me along with the tags. Along with the tags. That is a very, very important, right? You could be able to see that. From the this could be the output of our Java program. What I have to do, output of the Java program must be saved in a XML, in a HTML file, and I could be able to view it in the web browser. Okay, so it has produced a formatted output, and it has retrieved the data also. Please remember, data for which data? $x/title, it will retrieve the data. Likewise, $x/price, it will retrieve the data. From where it is retrieving the data? From books.xml, it is retrieving. For loop will iterate for all the 4 records, and it has retrieved all the titles and prices. So left side, right side, you are having the output, formatted output, right? Why sir is not showing a table? Instead, he is showing the program for generating the table. That's the specialty here, because Java is producing only the tagged outputs. It is our responsibility. We have to write the program again, or in the Java program itself, what you have to do? The output, instead of displaying it in the console, you have to store the output in a file name .html. So what using the process package available in our Java utility package, using the process method available in our Java utility package. Once you execute the Java program, it will open an Explorer and show you the table. So likewise, you can write your own program on this. Sequences. So sequences. So what about these sequences? So nothing but you like this type of some arrays that we could able to talk about that. Instead of using the term array, I could able to use the term vector. Okay, I could able to store multiple type of data in the continuous locations. So that's what we have shown here. Okay, so that you could able to see that. So there is an array called items, a variable. Inside that you could able to see there are 10 items are there. Orange, apple. See, all of them are represented using different types of tags and notations. So everything is applicable here. Fruit type equal to juicy. I don't have any data over on that. Next, vehicle type equal to car. I have mentioned the data. Santro. Again, I have closed the vehicle. I have given a complete tag also there. And without tag, I am giving directly the data. 1, 2, 3 are numbers. A, B are characters. A, B, C is the string. So everything is available. I have I am ready to. There is aggregate function like in our SQL. Count of $items will ready to store my count of $items. Totally 10 items are there. It will store the value 10 in the count variable. What it is going to return? It is going to return the count, and it is going to return the items available in the array. For that only we are having that for loop. So items tag will generate within the items tag. Items tag, it is ready to generate the items which are available in the list. So in the list there are 10 items are there. So I think this output will be something reasonable, right? So it is generating the tag of the result, complete result. This is what we are returning. Okay, it is returning the result. So within the result tag, what we are having? Count. First one is count. We could able to see that count, dollar of count. We are closing the count. It is returning the value 10. 10 items are there. Next, it is displaying each and every item because it is iterating. So that is the reason why. How many items are there? 10 items are there. For all those 10 items, we are having the individual subtags. So item of item orange, item apple. So likewise, in this array, from orange to ABC, what are all the items are there? It is being listed under this tag item. Okay, so item tag is being given over there. After for, you could be able to see that return item of actual data, close the tag. So the formatting had happened over there. So that could be an interesting sequence over there. Likewise, the same thing. I could be able to use only numerals, the same type of item that I am ready to work with, and I am here ready to show you the index also. So what could be the index? 6 elements are there totally. So I am ready to retrieve the item in the second index, items of 2. So it is not starting with 0, it is starting with 1. That is the reason why items of 2 means what is the second item in the list? 2. That is the reason why it is retrieving. Value of the second item is 2. So I am giving the 2 in the for loop is nothing but the index. The result available in the item is the data. Okay. And see here, I am ready to retrieve the specific elements. Okay. Ready to retrieve the specific elements. So the values in the corresponding locations are being retrieved. So from the index 1, 2, 3, what are all the values are there? 1, 2, 3 is there. So along with it, I am retrieving the count also. That's a easier one to understand. Okay. Something interesting, this one will work with that. So these are all aggregate functions. So see that second line in the left side program, count of items. What it will retrieve? It will retrieve me the number of values in the given array. So there are 6 items are there. That's the reason why the result is returned like in this way. So count 6/count. So likewise, when you come for sum, I could able to perform sum of all the numbers available in the array. Sum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I add all those things, I will get 21. That could be the result available here over there. Okay, so these are all some of the interesting built-in functions. That's what our sequences available over there. Likewise, this is a complete list. This is a complete list. Whatever we could able to use with our SQL, everything is applicable here. I could able to perform average, minimum, max, distinct values, nothing but the unique. Okay, I could able to do that. Subsequence, nothing but the string, substring. Okay, insert before. So I could able to insert before the specified location. I could able to remove a element from the given list by mentioning the item or mentioning the location. I could able to reverse the list. Okay, I could able to perform that. I could able to retrieve the location of a corresponding data using index of sequence. Last, I could able to find out the last element using this, return the last element in the array. Position, I could able to get the position index of a particular array. The difference between index of and position is, so position will work for items available in the array. Index of will work for specifically for integer array. So that's the main thing. And this type of program that you could able to see that. So here we are going to work with the string. Okay. So till now we have seen with something on numbers. So check with the string. So how to measure the string size? So for that the built-in function is string hyphen length. Check the second line, string hyphen length. String hyphen length of book title. So the length of learn X query in 24 hours. That is the string. String length is 24. If you count that, you could be able to get the number of letters. Okay, so you have that content available over on the slide. And the second method is concat, which is available in red color. Second line, you could be able to see what I am concating. I am concating book title and price. Okay, I am concating book title and price. Okay, so book title already I have learn X query in 24 hours. Price value I am mentioning in the next variable, updated title. So the concat function will combine both these things. That is the output that you could be able to see here. So learn X query in 24 hours, comma, price, because I have mentioned comma also there in the price $200. Okay, so these two string functions will help us to understand the usage of string within it, as well as we have one more function called the tokenize. Even tokenize also will help us to move further. So it will find out the individual keywords over on that. That's what tokenize will do over on that. Right. So here string join. Okay, so that we could be able to mention the same join functionality what we will be using in our Java. So current date, current time, current date from the black color program, current time it will retrieve, the red color program it will retrieve. Both date and time will be retrieved using the green color tag. Okay, so that's the interesting thing. And expressions, so regular expressions, so it will ready to retrieve. So tutorials point simply easy learning, that is the input. Matches of input with hello, whether it is equal, no, will return false. Why we have given equal to true? That is the default assumption that we have to do. That's the syntax. Likewise, what I'm going to match with the wildcard characters, I have matched. So what we have seen, so we have seen that there we will be using with it completely on wildcard characters. T dot star, S dot star, E dot star, L dot star. So ultimately it will return by matching the first T dot star, it will return true. Okay. So next one is replace. What I am replacing? Replacing chapter with a section. Replacing one with the corresponding $1.0. So chapter 1, chapter 2 are being replaced with a section 1.0, section 2.0. So likewise, it will be the values also being incremented, the text also being replaced. So that is the powerfulness of this function. Okay, so this program is nothing but even we can use if, right? If is also available for our X query. This can be used directly in the program if that file does not available, because even you can do such type of exception handling in X query itself. Instead of writing in Java, you can write in XML itself. So in X query itself, that is the reason why I have introduced this program, because if books.xml is not available, what we will do? Because in Java program, we are checking the file exception for X query only, not for books.xml. If bookstart.xml is not available page, we have to write the exception handling in Xcode program. That is the reason why this passage has been given, and that will demonstrate us how to use it in the Xcode program. How to write user-defined function. This could be the syntax. Declare function. So the prefix that what I will use, function name, parameters and data type, and return the thing corresponding body. Till now we have seen that, but for your convention I have given it again. So see that how it is ready to work with. Declare function. These are all the keyword. Local colon discount. Okay, so discount could be the your function. Local colon discount. Price I am passing. Percentage discount I am passing. Both are decimals. Returning value also a decimal. Okay. So what it is going to do? It is performing the discount. That's all. Not more than that. Original price is 100. Discount value is going to be 10. So 10 minus 100 minus 10 is going to retrieve you the 90. The percentage value is being calculated over the 10 percentage. So for 100 rupees, 10 percentage is 10 rupees only. So 100 minus the corresponding 10. So that will give you 10. So that is being returned. Okay, that is being returned over there. Okay, so the return value is going to be available as 90. So that's the usage of writing the function. So now it's time for discussion. If you have any queries, just post it in the chat.